Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be part of this conference to share with you part of what the ministry has. I would like to thank the American Research Center in Cairo and especially Dr. Luis Bertini and Dr. Yasmin Shazli for inviting me to participate in this important conference dealing with protection of the cultural properties. Let us start with some questions. Why and when and where and what are the components when, where, what are the main components of the Center of Studies and Documentation of Egyptian Antiquities, what are the achievements and the challenges that the Center of Documentation does and face, what are the purposes of Center of Documentation, what are the steps of Center of Documentation does to protect the cultural property, why. When the government decided to build up the High Dam in 1955, it was decided also to establish a center with a special task to document all the monuments located in Aswan behind the new dam. When the center was founded in May 1955 by the law number 147 and followed by issued a decree number 184 in 25th of April 1956, where the Center of Documentation was located. The Center of Documentation was located in the Ramses Street behind the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. And because of the building of the 6th of October bridge, it was demolished and it was moved to the headquarters of the ministry right now in Zamalek. And the Center of Documentation has two main elements or main components. Main components, which is the main important components since its establishment, documentation department, which the tombs and temple documentation, and also scientific archive, which called the German archive. The main components of Center of Documentation is the department called the documentation, which deals with all the monuments which were covered by water from 9 months a year and are located in Nubia area. These monuments are the temples such as Kalabsha Temple, Garf Hussein, Beit al-Wali, Abu Simbel, Kumidekka, Imad, Dakka Temple, and Bin Inat tomb, and the two temples of Abu Simbel. And of course, the temple of Fili, which was covered by all this water. Since 2015, a new department was established, such as the Papyrus Department, which deals with papyri and both museums and sites, and the Egyptian Museum and the Egyptian Antiquities Organization Archive also was moved to the Egyptian Center of Documentation, and this administration archive dated back to 1881 and was moved in Center of Documentation to 2015. What are the properties of the Center of Documentation? Center of Documentation keeps more than 40,000 black and white photos. Each has unique number since first mission to Abu Simbel, and starting in 2005, the center used the digital cameras and documenting the monuments. As you can see, this is kind of when we use the digital cameras, we have colorful images and work it in every place, like Valley of the Queens, Valley of the Kings, and also the Sibian tomb. This is black and white of the Center of Documentation. The Center of Documentation had its unique database. A special database was curated to keep those these records called FAMUDIS. It's abbreviated from Pharaonic Monument Documentary Information System. And you can see the interface of the database has a lot of information and the 3 levels of data. It is for the list, external list, also the antiquity or the tomb or the temple, and also the region, and also the date and the geographical sites, And also this is very important for us to make this kind of database, and each image has its unique number, as you can see in the right hand of the slides. And also it is a researchable database. You can, if you write correctly the name of Nefertari, you will get the results of 11 results matching your request. As you can see, Nefertari, the most beautiful of them, and also monuments, the small temple of Nefertari, Abu Simbel, the tomb of Nefertari, Queen Valleys, number 66, and some resources, tomb of Nefertari, and the other resources we have. Also, this database, the left hand, it is the old fish we have, it is kept in the center of documentation. And as you can see, this is the current, or the current, the still photo kept in our drawers. But in the right hand, you can see the new database we have with all the information, more details, with the more details than the one, the actual one. And this is researchable. You can easily research it from the office, or when it will be available to be online, you can research whatever you want from home. A scientific publication, Center of Documentation did a lot of publication since its establishment, and you can see this is the old books and printed in the Center of Documentation, and it called under the series Collection Scientifique. And recently we got we did publish the tomb of Kha-Amhat, all the tombs of the Queen Valley. 21 tomb was published in the one volume, has the name of the Valley of the Queens. And also Queen Nefertari, we had a separate volume for the Queen Nefertari tomb. It is published also in the Center of Documentation, Ministry of Antiquities and Tourism. And this book is very important because for first time to have the images and the line drawing in the same time. And also have Garf Hussein, this the last or the final volume for Garf Hussein, because we had before four volumes, and this is the fifth one. And this is very important because this deals with the chapel, which it's sunken under the water right now, and nobody in the world has all these images or line drawing, but only the Egyptian Center of Documentation has these images and these records. And for that reason, it was very important to publish this book. And also, finally, recently this year, we succeeded to also to publish a new book about the Grand Temple of Abu Simbel. It is called the Treasures Rooms, which is the 5 treasure rooms inside the main hall of the temple. And it is in French, and really it's very important that to publish what you have in order to share the knowledge and information with other community. The second component, it is a scientific archive. Scientific archive, we have in our scientific archive a lot of materials, negatives, glass negatives, and plastic negatives, sheet film, roll film, and photos and fishes and maps. This archive, called in the beginning the German archive, because all this archive was given to us after the Second World War, and it kept in the Center of Documentation. Since it was moved, nobody dealt with it, and after a long time, in 2016, we succeeded to have a cooperation with the British Museum and the German Archaeological Institute in order to preserve or to make a new environment of preservation for all these glass negatives and the images and the photos. And as you can see in this image, in these slides, that this is it was the situation before working in this, before having the cooperation with the German Archaeological Institute and the British Museum to make a new environment. And this is the old environment, and also the differs, the gas negatives differs in size. We have 8 by 8, we have 12 by 9, we have 13 by 10, we have also 18 by 13, we have also 24 by 18, and also finally we have 30 by 24. And also we have different kind of archive of negative, this gelatine negatives as well. It is kept in the center of documentation, and really these negatives gave us information and details, photos about the situation or the condition of the antiquities in the past. Also, plastic negatives, roll films, it's kept in wooden drawers or wooden boxes. But after we cooperated with the British Museum and the German Archaeological Institute, we succeeded to have a new environment. Also, one of the prints, we have the old photos, as you can see, it very old photos, and these especially of the Sphinx and the pyramids. You can see how you can use those images to compare the situation of the antiquities in the last 2 centuries and nowadays. And now, after we, as I said, we have the cooperation with German Archaeological Institute and the British Museum. We did the process of digitizing all the glass negatives using cameras, using scanners, and my colleagues are doing a great job in this regard. And we succeeded to convert the old environment to a new one using the acid-free envelopes and the acid-free boxes to store all those images or those glass negatives. And each box is labeled with the name of information which is inside, and this give us help us to find easily what we want. This is the old environment. This is the old environment, and this is the new technique or the new environment of storage of all these gas negatives after using the acid-free envelopes and the box. And also we did restore some of the broken glass negative. This is my colleague Ibrahim dealing with the broken negatives, and he succeeded to rejoin the glass together using this kind of frame, and to keep the glass flat, and to have this frame acid-free acid-free box or carton in order to keep it longer and not to be broken again. Also, this is the storage area of the glass negative, and you can see in the left hand it is the old environment, and in the left side, in the right side, it is the new storage area to keep our heritage and our cultural breveity, like the glass negative, which was one of the most important components we had in the center of documentation. As we said, the database is very important for any kind of project or kind of department in order to host or to have all the information together with the photos and the online drawings. And this photography database of the glass negative, it's very important because this is like a catalog, online catalog for all what we have in the center of documentation, the archive. And really all the glass negatives are scanned, and it is on the database. You can easily look for any kind of information or kind of image, and you can find it through this kind of database. And it is researchable. You can research whatever you want, and you can find all the information. The results come with a lot of images, a lot of information. And this, as I said, very important to have the image and the information of the site or of the photographer or of the object. It is very important, some kind of database. What are the properties of the center of documentation? As I said, it was 2 main elements in the documentation and the archive, scientific archive. But now we came to a new component. One of the most important components, the Egyptian Antiquities Organization Administration Archive, which moved to the center 2015. The archive deals with all the administration documents of the antiquities in the 18th and 19th century. The archive contains the letters, minutes of meetings of Committee of Egyptology, Permanent Committee right now, and the foreign missions, contracts, and many other important documents. We did, sorry, this is a situation of the administration archive we had, which is, it looked like ugly, but with the help of the IFAO and the Flemish Institute, we succeeded to do scans and to make inventory, classification of all what we have And my colleague did work great, work hard in order to convert this situation, to have it in this new environment. And my colleague Marlin from the Flemish Institute did a great job, make an inventory, doing the new boxes, acid-free boxes. And as you can see, this is really great environment to host or to keep this precious paper and information of the archive in this kind of acid-free boxes. Also, one of the greatest information or documents we had, very important, it is the document of establishing or founding the School of Egyptology. The School of Egyptology was founded in 1881, and Ahmed Bey Kamal, or Ahmed Basha Kamal, was a student in this school. And after he was graduated, he moved to work as an inspector or as a curator in the Egyptian Museum. And this is document very important, telling us how it was established, how it was founded, and the budget as well of this school. It was £500 for 4 years for students, and all the students when they graduated, they worked in the Egyptian Museum. Also, this administration archive has one of the greatest archive, which is the minutes of meeting of the Egyptology committee, which has all the list of the missions working in Egypt with the name and the place, and also the date of starting working. Really very important document, and the book include all the information about the missions working in Egypt. As you see, it is go back to 1898, and all this is one of the letters kept in this archive. And really, it gives us an indication how the work was fast, how the people were very active in doing their job. They loved their job. For that reason, they succeeded. This letter is from Brockish Bey, and concerning something in the Greek-Roman Museum. And the letter was sent 24th of June, 1896, and the decision was taken after 2 days only. This gives you the impression how they did the work, how they followed their work, how they succeeded to make one paper has all these signatures with all the response and with answers, and the decision was taken only in 2 days. Nowadays, sometimes the decision is very late and delayed for 2 weeks. Also, one of the greatest and the most important documents in this archive, it is the division, the list of division, the list of division of the antiquities of the Egypt Exploration Society. When they worked in Tal al-Amarna, when they found this object, the division was there, and they divided all the object was were found, and this the list of what the Egyptian antiquities will have, and the list of what the Egypt Exploration Society will have. Very important. This tradition has been stopped during, according to the law of 117 back to 1983. What are the properties of the Center of Documentation? As I said, the new component also, it is deals documentation of papyri and the papyrus in the site and the museums. My colleague went to the Egyptian Museum in order to make an inventory of all the papyri we had in that place in the Egyptian Museum, and really they did a great work in this regard. And also we had a special database of the papyri. You can find what you want. This an example of a database of the papyrus in the Center of Documentation, dealing with Zenon, son of Zenon, collection of the papyri in the Egyptian Museum. And you can see the fields, everything is there, and also another image of the database with all the information of the papyrus, the sheets, and the condition, and the state of preservation, and also date of entry, date of the measurements. Really, it is, I'm very proud for that department of the Center of Documentation, because really it is very important to keep recording and documenting all the monuments you have. At the end, I would like to mention again the number of photos and documents that the Center of Documentation has done recently or since its establishment. 40,000 black and white, all the photos of tomb and documentation department, 15,000 digital photos of tombs and temples, more than 150,000 of different material archive, more than 8,000 of administration archive, 10,000 of both black and white, colorful images of papyri. At the end, I hope I succeeded to present an overview of the achievements of challenges of the Center of Documentation and how we manage to follow all the international standards methods for protection to preserve our cultural property by using scanners, digital cameras to create the different database, which will serve the help the field of archaeology. The aim of the Center of Documentation and the studies is not only to document, but also sharing the archaeological information and the knowledge with everyone who is interested in Egyptian antiquities by similar means, such as books, database, and website. Before I finish, I would like to thank all the colleagues of the Center of Documentation for their effort and the time who devoted their time to work in the Center of Documentation, and they did a great job, especially those who traveled around to document all the monuments. Also, I would like to thank him once again, the organizer of this conference. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you again.